Karen,
Yes.
what if spiritual awakening, personal transformation, and manifestation aren't about vision boards or affirmations or pretending you're high vibe while screaming internally?
Well, that would be good because I've never made a vision board.
Really? Never?
Really, never.
Wow.
I don't think I have. Maybe when I was little.
We are going to have to change that. Karen, what you need to do is you need to stop leaking energy and
Ooh.
enter flow. You've heard of the mystical flow state, haven't you?
I'm just picturing that leaking energy just doesn't sound,
Well, today's guest is going to teach us how to enter, not the mystical place, but rather the real state of flow where clarity replaces chaos, intuition gets loud, and life actually starts cooperating.
Now that I can get on board with.
And no, this is not spiritual bypassing. This is energy mastery for people who are tired of white-knuckling reality. So if you're exhausted from doing the work, you're not failing, your nervous system is. We're going to fix that on today's episode of the Skeptic Metaphysicians. My name is Will.
And I'm Karen.
And unlike Mulder and Scully,
both want to believe.
so we've embarked on a journey of discovery.
We've talked to people deeply entrenched in the spiritual and metaphysical world.
We've thrown ourselves into weird and wonderful experiences. I even joined a coven of witches.
And wait, you joined a coven?
Yep, all in the interest of finding something
Anything.
that will prove that there's something beyond this physical,
three-dimensional world we all live in.
This is the Skeptic Metaphysicians.
Hey there, I'm Will.
And I'm Karen.
Welcome to a stress-disrupting, alignment-restoring, reality-starts-cooperating again episode of the Skeptic Metaphysicians.
Yay.
Our guest today helps people stop forcing outcomes and start aligning their energy so life actually works with them. Christy Whitman has spent decades teaching energy mastery, flow, and manifestation not as hype, but as a practical way out of stress, reactivity, and burnout. And today, we're talking about what it really means to enter that state of flow that we all want to get into and why that changes everything. Christy, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much. How long have you guys been married? I just love your connections. Great.
17 years.
17 years married, 19 together?
Yep.
Wow. That's the first time we said that out in the air out loud. Our secret is out, Karen.
We got married when we were 4.
Our secret
Right?
is
I
out.
was going to say, you were very young kids. Okay.
Right. Thanks. Now we do
Amazing.
have we're one of the blessed people. We found each other later in life, and we knew what we wanted, and so
Knew what we didn't want.
and we didn't. More importantly,
Amen to that.
right?
Yeah, for
we seem to
sure.
have found that flow state in marriage, so it's actually worked for us.
Awesome. I love that. So you understand that it's not just about painting a picture or doing basketball layups or any of that. It's how you enter a flow state in aspects of your life, including your relationships.
Well, I mean, that's all I've done.
Sorry. Did I laugh out loud?
I might have to drop an edit point here. I don't know.
I think our relationship flow is really good.
Yes.
Like our relationship is great. Our relationship with our daughter is incredible. And that's where it stops.
Uh-oh. I think we need to have
I
a
think we
conversation
need
about this
more-
off mic.
More flow, more outer flow. You know?
With the,
So
with the
we're not
world.
control too much.
I
Yeah.
see. I got
Yeah,
you.
no.
Yeah. Well, that's why we invited Christy on the
Yes.
show, because she's going to help help us do exactly that.
Yay.
So, Christy, we're going to dive right into it because we don't want to waste any more time. Most people think they're out of alignment because they're doing something wrong, right? From your perspective, what are people actually misunderstanding about why their lives feel so hard?
Well, first of all, we have this part of us, right? We can't fight against it. We can't get rid of it. It's an animalistic part. It's a primitive part of our brains that exists. And it exists there because it allows us to understand what do we need to do when we feel threatened. And threatened, well, it might be our lives, it might be threatened financially, it might be threatened emotionally. There's a lot of things that we could perceive as a threat. And so what I talk about in my book, The Flow Factor, is that contrast exists, things that we do not want, that exists. Like you guys are really cute, like we know what we don't want, right? Sometimes that's the starting point of creation is knowing that I'm so tired of this, I'm discontented with this, I don't want this anymore, right? That gives us that point of like, well, what do I want then? Because when you can start to focus on what do I want and why do I want it and how do I want to actually feel, now you're in creator consciousness rather than being in survival consciousness. Because what happens is something we don't want happens, and we naturally will kick in reactively many times to our survival mechanism, right? We get into that fear, we get into that worry. And many times we don't realize we're doing it, but it's just a natural thing that happens. So the beautiful thing is that when you find yourself in a stress response, when you find yourself like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that, because I just got reactive to someone.
Story of my life.
Right? It's like that was coming from my condition, my conditioned and kind of high-strung nervous system that hasn't had a chance to reset. I like to think of it this way, like my son plays soccer. So I'm at a soccer game, right? The ball's coming right at me. I put my hands up to protect myself from the soccer hitting me in the face, right? Well, the threat is gone. But what if I don't put my hands down? I don't reset. I don't go, okay, it's all good. Everything's okay. I can put my hands down now. I'm metaphorically, putting my hands up and holding them up, guarding myself against that person, that place, that money, that thing, that success, whatever it is. And until we let our nervous system have a reset, we're going to stay in that mode, right? So there's at the back of our head and neck, you guys all obviously know about chakras and energy centers and all that. Well, one that is really important because it's at the back of our head and neck where our brain and our spine come together. There is like an indentation right there. If you were to put your finger, you put your head back, you'd squish your finger kind of thing, right in there. That's an energy center that if you imagine it opening up, that energy from the back of the brain, because it's the fight, flight, freeze, is part of that stress response, analytic response, that causes us to stay out of flow.
Wait a second. Sorry to interrupt you for a second, but something just struck me.
Please do. Yeah.
You're talking a lot about non-woo stuff, which is great. And I do want to get into the woo of it all in a second, because I know that you work with the council, which we'll talk about later. But you just struck something in me. First of all, I didn't know we had chakras back there. Right? We know the 7 major ones, but there's chakras everywhere. I didn't know we had one there. And it just so happens that the show was built during a time when I was in crisis constantly. And I don't know if I completely let that go altogether since that day. It's 5 years ago. But recently, as the last several years, I have gotten that part of my neck, if I sleep the wrong way, gets so stiff and triggers such a bad migraine that it ruins my day completely. So what I'm hearing you say is that I messed up my chakra.
Well, I wouldn't blame yourself like that. I'd just say that your chakra's been stuffed up, and so it's now time to release it and it's not even just the chakra. It's like a release portal. It's a valve that really connects with, because if this is going on, the fear, the worry, I'm still stuck in what could happen and the crisis, or I haven't fully let it go. The energy that is of the higher centers of that spiritual, here goes the woo-woo, right? Of that higher center that connects to our higher self and to, more higher vision and more possibilities, and of course intuition and the actual physical part of our brain, which is the prefrontal cortex, which is all about seeing the future and connecting with a positive future and seeing goals and being able to strategize those things. If the activity and the action has all been back here, that's why you may feel stifled, blocked, things aren't moving. Because it's kind of like my husband, we have 2 teenage boys, 15 and 16, and they're all about building their bodies and muscles and going to the gym, and they take their shirts off. It's hilarious. Right. But they're always talking. It's hilarious. Yeah. It's just, I love it. I love being a boy mom. But I hear these conversations with my husband that he's having with the kids that, boys, you don't want to eat right away and then go to the gym and work out. And I'm like, why? Is it like swimming? You could drown? And he goes, no, because your body is now focused on the digestion. It's not focused on the actual, building the muscle, and you could actually harm yourself. If all of your focus and energy is in the digestion, it's not giving proper blood flow to the other muscles. And I was like, wow, because that's the same thing that's happening here. right? It's a physiological thing that happens. So if all the energy is coming back here, we don't have room or space for creativity, for vision, for envisioning, and for connecting to a higher place. We're in survival mode.
Right. The fight, they call it fight or flight mode, right?
Fight, flight, freeze, fawn.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
fight. Now let's talk about that, because fight mode doesn't look like, all right, put up your dukes, right? I'm going to punch you in the face. It's not about physically fighting someone.
Unless it does. I mean,
well, it could. I mean, when it does, it does,
this
right? But it's not
context,
just. It's not just that.
Okay, got
right?
it, got
It's
it.
not just that. Yes, fighting is actually fighting, kung fu and hitting someone in the face, all that stuff.
Yeah.
However, there's an internal fight that most people are in all day, every day.
Right.
And that internal fight is, you're not enough. And I'd love to do that, but I can't. You know, I wanted to have this be like this, but it's not. You know, like those parts of us that are split, where we have a lot of split energy, that I really want this, but I don't think I can have it. You know, that pull.
sure.
You said something right at the beginning that just was like, and when you're
just
talking
one
about,
thing?
well, lots of things, but
right
the
at
one thing, I was just like, I never thought of that. When you were talking about, you know, what do we want? Why do we want what we want? And that, I think, if we can go through and figure out why we want what we want, we might really not want it. And then we can stop fighting to get what we want when we don't really want it in the first place.
You absolutely. When I wrote my book, The Art of Having It All, this is like 2015. I had a reporter. She was in college, and so she was doing some reporting on, you know, different authors and stuff. And so I asked her these different questions, right? What do you want? Why do you want it? And why that's important is, first of all, what do you want gets your mind focused on actually what you want to create, not what you don't want, right? If we're focused on what we want, we actually feel better. If we're focused on what we don't want, we don't feel good.
Right.
So when you're focused on what you want, that's one thing. Okay, what do I want? I want more money, or I want a better job, or I want peace in my house, right? Whatever the thing you want. Then why do you want it gets into the energy body. It gets into the emotional body. And when you start thinking about why you want something, now you start to feel it, because you're like, oh my gosh, because it'd be adventurous and it'd be free and I could go on that vacation and I can do this. And right now you're starting to create. Now you're starting to dream. Now you're starting to move energy. And the thing that all of us want, we've been so trained in this. I want this. I have a need, whatever that need may be, and I need to strategize in order to find out, how do I go get that need? I need that person to do this so I can have, right? I need to go get that in order to be. And so it's this if, when, then. We're projecting outside something that we want to experience and then have attached some kind of accomplishment or something else to it. So when we can identify, what do I want? Why do I want it? Because I'll feel free.
Right.
Oh.
And in essence, you find what you actually want.
Right.
Right. It's not the thing, it's the feeling that you get from the thing.
Yes. And with law of attraction, if you're vibrating at the resonance of why you wanted that thing in the first place. So you're like, okay, I want to make more money. What's more money? I want to make, $1 million a year. Okay, why do I want that? Because I'd have freedom. I'd have this, that. Wait, the true bottom line thing is my need for security or freedom or power, right? Well, that's something you could cultivate right now. And while you're cultivating it, now you're a magnet to. Now you are literally drawing and attracting to you.
Right.
Instead of having to go out and push and strive and, you still take action, but the action is done very, very differently.
Right. So important to figure out the energy behind the why. That's such a great question, Karen. Wow. So
Very
then,
good, Karen.
yeah, no, she is the show. Thank God she's here, because she asks the good questions. I'm just along for eye candy. And so
You're so humble.
you're
I love
laughing.
it.
You're laughing a little too hard on that.
I think we both did.
Yeah, you both. Yeah, actually.
It's the joy. It's that eye candy brings me so much joy and eruption laughter.
Sure, I'm not
That's an
enjoying this
expression of
conversation
love.
anymore. Anyway, so I got to go back to this chakra thing. So do you think if I'm able to clear that chakra point, my headaches will stop, or my stiff
Oh,
neck will stop?
I know for 100% for a fact.
You need
100%.
like a chakra neti pot.
I have been. Ew. No, Chrissy, if you knew how long I've been doctor's visit after doctor visit, acupuncture, physical therapy, nerve blocks, you name it, to try to fix this thing. If you can fix it, I'm going to love you.
Well, I want you to love me, so I'm going to fix it. No, honestly, the thing is that this is a really powerful portal that when you understand, when you have any nausea, when you have any headache, when you have migraines, when you have any head pressure, anything that has to do with the sinuses, anything that has to do with the eyes, the ears, the nose, anything that has to do with anything, including in the throat, that's a clearing place for that. And as long, it's like imagine that you've got pressure, right? And it gets more and more and more and more, and it doesn't have a place to go. So that's what it's doing. It's creating that dysfunction of a headache, a migraine, nausea, whatever it could be. That happens with all aspects of the body. If our emotional body, think of like our emotions as like a tank, right? If our emotions have not been processed and we're just holding on to those emotions, it's like a bathtub that needs to, at some point, if it's stuffed and the water keeps going, it's going to overflow the bathtub, right? So it goes beyond the tank, and that's where we then feel it in our bones, in our joints, in our eyesight, in our, in our movement, in our whatever it is.
Everything.
That stress energy, that blocked energy, that's what creates aging and dysfunction and disease and all that kind of stuff. But when you're working with the energy of whatever has caused that pressure and you're releasing that out, then it's not building up and you're okay. I've had clients that have had lifetimes of migraines that literally were like, their migraines, you know what it's like? It's like you're anticipating and you have to, it's a lifestyle of having to live without or guard against.
And it affects the whole family.
Yeah, no,
It does.
you're constantly, you have to be prepared. You always have to have your medication nearby. You have to be vigilant as to, is that what I'm feeling? Because the sooner you get to it, the easier it is to fix it. I mean, there's all, you absolutely right. Rules, the complete roost across the board. So I'm looking forward to fixing it.
It's that, and then it's that whole thing in that persona of what has been created because of that. So there's two issues there, right? It's two things.
Yeah.
It's the clearing of, and then it's like, who are you now without that? Who do you get to be?
Ooh.
And Karen's like, yeah, I've been on board with that guy.
Right? I don't know how to feel about that, actually. All right.
So how do you identify the energy that's caused this? This is something a trauma that you had when you were a kid that you blocked out. I mean, how can you clear something if you're not sure what got it there?
I love that question. You don't need to. That's the beauty of it. You just
I love
need
that
to
answer.
feel. Yeah, right? You don't have, that's the beauty of this. You don't have to go to a therapist, and God love therapy, started me on my path, love therapists.
Ditto.
But you don't have to go to a therapist and spend years and years and years and digging it up and all that kind of stuff. If you have an awareness that, for example, I'm doing a meditation series right now where we're bringing in the feeling of fulfillment. And we're working with different tonalities and frequencies of fulfillment of safety, fulfillment of, of respect, fulfillment of connection, like these two different needs that we have as energy and as emotions. And a couple of the ladies had said, bringing in the feeling of self-respect really brought up times when I wasn't respected. Right? And it brought that up, and it's like, okay, that's perfect, because that's where you want to be able to give compassion. Compassion energy is a neutralizing energy. It's a loving energy. It's a healing energy. And when you can feel somewhere within you, your psyche, something happened, you have a memory of something, and you can give yourself compassion for having that memory, that actually neutralizes your nervous system. You can open up the back of the head and neck for that. You feel the energy. It's like imagine it like a downpouring waterfall of light of just pink compassion energy. It's a soothing energy. It's warm. It's nurturing. That's what it feels like. And you could even give yourself like a hug, just give yourself a really big hug. And that's what compassion feels like, is like being able to soothe yourself, bring yourself into that energy. That's the start of being able to have that part of you, wherever and whoever they were with, that didn't get a need met, you're comforting that part in the now, and then there's no time. It's all time is simultaneous.
Right. And if you're just listening to the show, you're not watching, she just gave herself a massive bear hug that I felt it all the way over here just watching it. So that's I feel like I need a hug, I think. It's just telling me. Thank you, Karen. That's very nice of you.
You've got 2 arms, do you not?
Oh, look at that.
No, but
Empowerment.
but it doesn't feel as good though, right?
No, do it. You don't know. Did you do it? Did you do it when I did it? How
I
do
love
you
that.
know?
You don't know. I like her.
Yeah. Hey, Christy, it's been wonderful having you on the show. Look, the time has flown by, but
Will has to go, however, I know.
Oh my gosh! It's still seriously. Take your arms, wrap them around you.
All right, let's
Everybody
go.
do
Let's
it.
see.
Karen, you do it too. I'm telling you, it feels so good to do this. You just have to hug yourself. And when you do this, actually, you know what happens is somatic. They have studies on this. Your back of your head and neck, your fight, flight, freeze is relaxing. Your vagus nerve is relaxing. Your nervous system, your whole entire limbic system is calming down. And you might even feel like you want to take a deep breath, or your breath just to, it calms your breath. I mean, just feel that.
Well, it's interesting because like autistic folks do a lot of that. They hug themselves a lot for self-soothing and things like that. That tracks perfectly. And I will admit, just doing it just now felt pretty good.
Well, it's interesting because our relationship with our body is so wrong, I think, especially for women. And I recently had some health issues, and so now I'm trying to treat my body better, because it was always like, well, not good enough, not this, not that. And now, like, I have this different mindset. I was telling Will, it's kind of weird. It's like I'm treating it like a pet. That all it wants to do is love me and support me, and it has taken me hang gliding and underneath the earth and traveling and all of it. It's helped me. It's for my daughter, like all of this stuff. So now I'm trying to be much more grateful, but almost have it like its own entity. So like every once in a while, I'll like give myself a squeeze and go, "You're doing a good job," and I get like these little, like a little buzz. It's the weirdest thing.
It's true.
Your body responds.
The body
to
has
you.
its own intelligence.
It's like, oh, you're finally appreciating me after
So
25 years.
You're being kinder to, yes. Yes. I'm not going there.
He's like, I'm going to be over here hugging myself.
Yep. 25 years, exactly. All right, so your book is called The Flow Factor. It sounds like a reality show. In fact, I think I used to watch The Flow. No, that was The Fear Factor. That was different. So we all want to get into the flow because that is, and whether it's on the somatic side of things or in the spiritual side of things, getting in the flow. I mean, athletes credit it with their success. Athletes that get into the flow are championship caliber athletes. Those that are on their spiritual awakening path, when they find themselves getting into the flow, they find themselves opening up all kinds of worlds and possibilities and things like that. So how does someone like a friend of mine get into the flow? Because I mean, the flow has become like this buzzword, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, how do you define a true flow state in a way that doesn't collapse into like feel-good vagueness?
Okay, so flow feels good. That you're in the flow if that feels good. So just even what we did, just by hugging ourselves, right? You felt the difference. You've created more flow within your body now. So it doesn't have to be these, like I said, big, huge, I just created a thing, or a song, right? That can be an outcome of someone being so aligned and just feeling good and into what they're doing and into a moment and just feeling that fulfillment, right? Fulfillment of the presence. I mean, really, that's where the flow starts, and it's available all the time. I mean, you could flow getting in your car could look differently than flow sitting on the couch talking to your wife, right? It's like there's all green lights, right? Oh, yay, I got there on time and I had a couple minutes to spare. I mean, that's like a daily example, right? Of someone pulls out and you pull in. Right. It's like things are just going my way today. It doesn't have to be just a moment or a day like that. I mean, it's like, geez, I love things are always happening for me and things are going my way. When we mentally, there's 4 aspects of our consciousness. There's our mental body, there's our emotional body, our physical body, and then our energy body. And when we can have our mind focused on like we talked about, when we're focusing on what we want, we're back in flow. When we're focused on why we want something, we're back in flow because all of that feels good. The minute we go into, and I have a graph in the back of the book, but the minute we go into judging something, the minute we go, that's bad, oh no, that's wrong, she shouldn't have done that, excuse me. Whenever you have those moments of judgment, that creates the block of flow.
And I think also, like your expectations of what the flow is going to look like yesterday with the dollar thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Now I feel like we need to.
You go ahead.
Okay, so I'm reading this book by the original author of The Secret back in the day. And it's 21 days to abundance or something like that. And every day you read one chapter and it gives you one task in order to get you aligned, right? To get into the flow, I guess, in the way in this conversation. Yeah. And yesterday's chapter was about manifesting, showing me how easy it is. So we're just going to manifest a single dollar. So we went through the exercise and I say, okay, I did it. And I'm like, okay, where is it? Where is the dollar? I go all day long. I'm looking everywhere. This dollar doesn't come anywhere. At the end of the day, actually, as I'm going to bed, I realize, oh crap, I didn't manifest a dollar. Damn it. Is this not real then? What am I thinking? Right? So now that all of a sudden all the work I've done up to this point is now thrown out the window because I had doubt, right? Yeah. But then we're coming back from lunch today in the car, and I turned to Karen and said, I told you that dollar bill manifesting thing I was trying to do yesterday. It just occurred to me, it never came. It never came to me, right? Unless, the lady, the author, was talking about how it could have come in. It may not be a dollar bill that comes to you. It might come in the form of a discount or something that you get. We didn't get any discount or anything like that, did we? And Karen, being who she is, says, we actually got charged for the kids' meal for dinner last night instead of the regular meal.
and it wasn't by accident. So it wasn't like we were scamming.
And we didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
The servers, someone that we know, we go there all the time, and she took it upon herself to give us that discount, which she's never done before. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, it struck me right in the face. Oh my God! It's right in front of me. I just didn't notice. I was blind to it because I was expecting that dollar bill instead of right. So that's what Karen is talking about now. So.
Well, that's just it. Is when we have this idea, it's got to look like this, right? We're not looking and open for the possibilities. We're attached. And that's why, for 25 years, I've been teaching and talking about the 7 essential laws. And because most people know about the law of attraction. But what you're talking about is the law of detachment.
Absolutely.
Having an attachment to something like a goal, like wanting to create a dollar, wanting to attract a partner, wanting to build a business, wanting to have a certain level of financial experience. All that's great. Have an attachment to that. Be like a dog with a bone, right? Be on that. See it. Visualize it. Play that video over and over and over. That movie in your head over and over of you're succeeding and all of that of you're having it. But the place we have to detach is that this or something better.
Which brings us back to what we talked about earlier about what you really want is the feeling. And we're so caught up in we want this. What we really want is the feeling of it. So if the universe will give us what we're actually looking for, which is the feeling of it, it may not come exactly as this. It's going to come in some way better than we could possibly imagine.
Yeah, that discount was more than $1.
It was a lot more than $1.
So it was better. And I like that.
Yeah.
This or something better. I never thought about it that way. Yeah. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's so true because it's like my idea, because you've got to remember that so the flow factor, what the flow factor really is that flow exists, right? But we're the factor. Are we tuned into the flow or are we working against the flow? And so that's why it's the flow factor, because we're the factor. We have free will and choice, right? We have nobody else is focusing our minds other than us. Thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
Well, right? Some people are trying, but
right? But we still got it. It's like it's still ours. They can't, But that's just it. Is to understand that. I mean, our consciousness is literally 5 things. It's the words that we speak. It's the thoughts that we think. It's the perspectives, the movies, the beliefs that we hold. It's the emotions that we feel or stuff down or process, and the actions that we take. So all of it starts with our words. And if we're saying words that are, just coming from lack and limitation, and I've got a hair that's like itching me.
I have one on my face that I keep trying to find, and I
I
can't.
know. I'm like, geez, where in the heck is this?
Yeah, I wouldn't have that issue because my hair is not in flow.
That's funny. Right. So yeah, when we say words and phrases that are that they just immediately constrict us, there's no other, you can't flow, right? Like the minute you say I can't, there's no more flow to that.
Right. So when I said to you that I had that one, like, is this stuff not real, negating all the previous work I've done, is that the case? Like, is it possible to think other things than just super positive thoughts all the time and the model not break down? Or do you feel like you've got to police yourself all the time?
No, so yeah, that could be a lot of work, right? And the minute it starts to feel like it's too much work, then you're back in resistance,
Yeah.
right? So it's not supposed to be feeling like work. You want it to flow, right? You want it to feel good. So whatever work that you're doing, whether it's meditating or doing affirmations or doing visualization, whatever things that you're doing to feel good and be in the flow. There's a reason that we're doing these things, these tools, these processes, because at the end of it, we're doing it so that we can manifest what we want, or at least have what we want, or feel good, right? And we think a lot of times that if I just have this, then I'll feel good. And it's going right to the source, saying, wait a minute, in this moment, no matter what the circumstances or situations are, I can choose to feel good. I could choose to focus my thoughts, my words, on what I want instead of what I don't want. And when I do, I'm going to actually feel good versus not feel good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay. So is it possible that some people are actually trying to manifest from a place of self-rejection without even realizing that they're doing that?
Yeah, that whole place of being in fight, flight, freeze, that whole thing, it comes from, a lot of times our wounds are from that. I like to say there's like 3 different states of being. And the first one is lack, limitation. That's where, the drama triangle, that's where the whole fight, flight, freeze is in. That's where drama, struggle, chaos, all that, all of the lower level emotions, fear, worry, doubt, frustration, anger, rage, all of that come from that bucket. Don't like that bucket, right? Don't want to be in that bucket. Don't want to look at the bucket, right? But fortunately or unfortunately, it's part of our human experience.
Yeah, I'm used to that bucket.
Right? You're like, get me out of the bucket.
We need to get a chuck it bucket.
But there's 2 other buckets, right? There's the neutrality, which we talked about, that compassion. That's when you hugged yourself, right? It's like, okay, here's, I feel better. I'm not over the moon excited, but I feel better than I did being in that first bucket, right? And so a lot of us live there because we've been trained there. A lot of our conditioning has been there. So when you, for example, tried to succeed at something and it didn't turn out the way you expected, then you might have called yourself a failure or said, oh, things don't work out for me, or I guess I can't have what I want. That all becomes a moment of a choice and a decision that we made without better, more elaborate information. Because imagine you're 6 years old, you ask your mom for something, she's in the middle of cooking dinner or paying a bill, and she's not giving you her attention, and you say to yourself, I'm not loved. I mean, that's a big statement, but it's a decision and a choice that can then wound us, and then we're filtering, I'm not loved. Well, see, it's true. I'm not loved. Well, see, it's true. I was in that relationship and I'm not loved.
And then it's almost like putting quicksand in that bucket, so you can't ever really get out of it.
Well, it's terror. You can feel terror in there. Just even terror of thoughts. And so that's where, to get out of that place, right, where flow is not in that place, because nothing spiritual, nothing energetic meets us in that place. Right. And that's where we feel separated, alone, lonely, So that's where compassion, it's bringing in that energy of compassion. And there's 3 ways I like to say you could bring in compassion. The first is by asking for it, right? It's whether you think about your soul providing that compassion energy to you, whether you act as if it's a prayer for compassion and intention, but you're asking for that energy. It's an invitation for that energy of compassion, for soothing. And then, what I love to do, right? Put your hand on your heart, give yourself a hug, do something somatic. So first is invite the energy in. Second is do something physical so that you can feel that comfort of your own. Some people say like you could rock yourself, right? Whatever soothes you. It could be like petting your head, taking your face. It's whatever soothes you, and it's something you have to play with, but that is very soothing. It's very, you're giving self-compassion, which is a neutralizer. Right. It's like you're pushing a reset button.
Right. So Karen,
and from that,
that's why when I have all those shots at the bar, I'm self-soothing. It's self-compassion, Karen.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
You're hugging on the inside, on the way down.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry. So, okay, next way to bring it in.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the third way is like when you're doing the somatic touch, you're then giving yourself affirmations.
Gotcha.
So that's where you say this or something better. The universe is for me. Right. Things are working out for me. Something words of affirmation. And here's the thing. People say affirmations all the time that don't stick.
Right.
And the reason is because they got that backwards. Their nervous system, they haven't worked, right? They haven't released the nervous system, but your nervous system is in constriction mode. You're in fight, flight, freeze mode. And you're like, it's okay. I'm going to be fine. All is well. And you're not doing anything. It's like the council says, it's like taking roses and just tossing them on the surface and not planting them.
With the mysterious council, which we'll get to in a second. But
yes.
If someone, that's all sounds wonderful. However, sometimes if you're in a downward spiral, it's really difficult to get yourself to the point of thinking about these three ways of asking for that kind of thing, right? So if someone who's listening or watching right now finds themselves in a place where it's difficult, like they feel like they're maybe falling out of awakening or feeling like they need to focus on themselves only, they feel like they're in a bad place. Mm-hmm. How would you recommend someone take the first step towards digging themselves out of that hole?
What we're talking about, honestly, because what I'm talking about is not just, some kind of like, powder puff stuff. I mean, it's practical things that actually help when you're in a moment of despair.
So even if you're not feeling it, just going through the steps is actually going to make someone feel better.
Yeah, because you're focusing on it. Think about this, okay? Let's just really make this granular. Okay. I'm in despair. I'm focusing on something that I'm in the midst of that I feel like I can't control no matter what I do. I feel like I can't get out of it. I feel like I'm stuck. I painted the picture, right? Mm-hmm. It's like I'm just in this place, right? And it's like I am lost. I don't know what to do, right? If I focus on, okay, I'm going to invite my soul's with me, my soul's breathing me. If I invite my soul in, is my focus on the problem or my soul?
At that point,
on your
soul
problem.
No, because I'm now inviting in my soul. My focus is now on my soul, not on the problem.
Because you're taking steps to fix it?
Yes, because I'm feeling bad. I'm inviting in my soul. As soon as you're where your attention goes is what starts to illuminate, right? Mm-hmm. So now that I'm thinking of my soul and my soul comfort, now my focus is there. And now when I go to the second step and I actually do something to hug myself and tell me it's going to be all right, it's going to be okay. Now, I will tell you, the world in which is not like bags of money are going to start dropping on your head.
What?
Or, I know, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Spoiler alert.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, I
may
as well keep going, I guess. Okay.
Well, let me say, it's not like it's common, but it could happen.
Okay, all right. I'll take that.
Okay, yeah. Right? That this universe of pure potentiality, anything is possible. Mm-hmm. So sorry to be negative on that. We need to do the work.
Yes.
We need to do the work. And so, but in those moments when you're feeling that despair, when you can at least find a little bit of comfort, when you can at least find, that's going to take you out of that despair and focus you back on soothing. And from there, that's why, I teach a mastering flow class where there's 5 C's to mastering flow. And when you come into the compassion, that's the second part. That's the second C. Contrast is the first, what you don't want. Mm-hmm. Then you bring yourself into compassion. And then the third is what we were talking about, that clarity. What do I want? Why do I want it? How do I want to feel, right? And then the fourth is claiming it. I am successful. I am abundant. I am alive. I am here. Whatever that is. And then the fifth is creating it, is really taking all of, you don't have this block anymore, right? You've got all this activity that could be in creative mode. Now I'm going to utilize all my power and my energy to create what I do want. So what I would love to see is, what I would really love in my marriage is, what I would really love to go on a family trip is to this place. Now you're starting to carve out and create, utilizing all the activity of the mind to create your reality.
Gotcha. So do you recommend people do this on a regular basis or just when you're in crisis?
No, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. So first, okay, you're not in crisis. You wake up in the morning, you're alive. You get another day, right? Brand new day. It's just full slate, clean slate. Mm-hmm. And so waking up and going, thank you, I have another day. That starts the day off very differently if they're just like, all right, what do I got to do? Where do I got to go? Taking a moment to just thank the presence, the God, the universe, yourself for being alive, then I get a whole nother day. Mm-hmm. I get another day. I'm awake. And then, depending on if you're liking the person you're waking up to or if you're liking being alone waking up, right? It's like then you go to mine's like, oh, thank God I'm awake, right? And, I've got my husband next to me, so cuddly. And, and then I can start appreciating that. And just being in that space, not just rushing into the day, taking a moment, even if it's getting up 5 minutes later than you have to, but it's taking that time to set the energy for the day, setting it with appreciation, setting it with the feeling of love, setting it with, asking yourself, okay, what am I doing today? Oh, I've got that important meeting. What do I want to feel like in that meeting? I want to show up feeling successful. Okay, so that's the energy I'm going to cultivate today. I'm going to call in, I'm going to invite in that energy of success.
That makes great sense.
So much better than the way we wake up. Did you sleep? No, me neither. Get up.
Yeah, right.
You see, because Karen, it's true, because that's what we do a lot of times is we look at, did you get enough sleep? Mm-hmm. No, I didn't, and then that starts out the vibration of not enough versus, I'm so happy to wake up next to you. Did you sleep well? Yeah, good enough, right? And it's a very different vibration and conversation and connection.
What if it's not good enough? What if you really had a terrible night? You just focus on...
Give yourself some compassion.
And say...
And maybe we don't ask, how did you sleep?
Maybe don't ask me that next time. Yeah.
Say, do you love me? And then
yes.
you think about loving me. And
much better question to ask.
Of course.
Yes.
What a great way to start the day.
Loving
question. You. And I'll say yes.
Yes. If you're only listening to the show and not watching it, you haven't noticed my big dark circles under my eyes because I'm not sleeping. But anyway.
Well, that's part of your head thing too.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. But we also fired our makeup artist, so it has something to do with it. All right, so we talked about this mysterious council, and we've been teasing it along. I think we can't hold it back anymore. What is this council you're talking about here?
Okay, so the council is a group of ascended masters.
Okay.
It's their energy. And so I bring them in, I bring that consciousness in where my consciousness goes out. And so the energy that comes through and what comes through me, the wisdom, the processes, the guidance is from the council.
Oh, you know what? So go ahead.
Now, I was just going to ask, do you remember the first time they came to you, the first message they gave you?
They asked, did you sleep?
No.
No.
Anyways,
I do.
Could you share that, or is it too personal?
No, I've been happy to share that. I mean, this has been a thing in development for a while because my very first book, I'm on my 7th actual physical book, 8 if you want to count ebooks. But when my first book came through, I was hearing them.
Oh, wow.
And I was hearing them kind of like as a voice outside of me. And what they were telling me, I got up and started writing down. And then each of my books, and I knew that I was an energy healer, and I was a coach. People knew me as a coach and an author, but I was always working with people's energy, and so I just kept leaning into that and leaning into identifying myself as an energy worker, as an energy healer. And then they were giving me kind of like assignments. You know, my books are assignments, but they were giving me an assignment to create a program where everybody can come on Zoom and just have, you know, I just heal whatever. If someone had an argument with their partner, we heal that emotion. If they got something physical, we do healing.
Oh, you do both emotional and physical then, yeah. That was good.
All of it. Yeah, mental, emotional, physical. Yep. So I was with about 6 women that we were doing healing work, and this one woman was her last, she was last to go. And all of a sudden, instead of hearing them as one collective voice, it was like my kids, my dog, my husband were talking to me at the same time. It was like, I can't, what?
Good
no,
God.
Oh God, right? Yeah. I was like, no, the madness. Stop the madness. So I remember, and I have a video on this too, because it was recorded when we did this, but I thought I could have bet that my body like flung over the chair, because that's how it felt. Like I felt like I was listening to something that was talking through me. Wow. And then when I got the recording back, I was straight and, you know,
that's bizarre. We've heard some of these things like that before, but did it freak you out when you saw yourself on video?
No, because my whole training, my very early training in spirituality was with channelers, and you know, one of my greatest teachers is Abraham Hicks, and so I've always grown up with spiritually, you know, channeled, and I kind of trusted the channeled more than a kind of a coach, because they're coming from their humanness, you know, is my own thing. But it always guided me really well when it was a channeled source. And
I guess I'm just too much of a control freak, because if suddenly I felt something was pushing me out the way, I'd be like, yo, it's my body.
Sometimes I feel like that. I'm like, can I finish my sentence before you come in? Because sometimes they get it. Because I'm like, please wait, hello. Yeah. And sometimes they're like this is what it feels like. And I'm like talking and I'm like, could I just please, right? It's like,
that's amazing.
You know, it's like, knock it off.
Yeah.
No, but it is a powerful, when they're ready to come through, it's like, we're ready now. And I'm like, okay, I'll finish my thought later. But they're loving, it's not intrusive, it's not, you know, it's very powerful. And it's a privilege, it really is. It's an honor, a blessing.
When you work with people then, you tap into the counsel and as you're talking with them, or
I do.
Oh, freaking awesome.
Yeah. And that's the cool part, is that what I can see and what they can see are very different, because they see through the hologram and they can see, and it freaked me out the first time they did it. They said to a woman,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They said to a woman, you were 6 years old when you were sexually abused. And the woman's like, I have never told anybody that ever in my life.
Geez, I was brave for you to actually vocalize it.
And I'm not there. They counseled it. And because it was just her and it was this woman and the counsel, right?
So you couldn't even not have said it. Oh, good God.
No.
That's a little too much. Wow. That's opening yourself up for all kinds of liability, though, isn't it?
No,
that would scare me a little bit. I don't know. What if she was like not wanting people to know that, and all of a sudden that's not true? You're saying bad things about me.
There was no audience. It was just them, right? And it was there for her loving, because there was something blocking her that she never told anybody. Imagine you're 6 years old, you've never uttered a word about this, and that's a big trauma. Yeah, they helped her release that trauma. And she's a very different person now.
Absolutely, there's no question, and that would be such a very specific way of cluing me in that this is legit, because no one knows this thing. So I totally get it. But the physical side of me going, lawyers and attorneys and courts and oh my God, and lawsuits, and I just maybe that's why I don't channel. I don't know.
There's a lot of reasons.
You know.
Yeah. Fair point.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's been. I remember the first time when I heard them, and I was in Montreal, and this woman was in, because we used to live there, and this woman was in Seattle, Washington, and I hear them say to me to tell her, "You need to go to the doctor and get your hips checked," and I'm like, I am not telling her that. You know, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, tell her, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. And tell her. They were very persistent. And I said, Barbara, please don't kill the messenger. I go, they are telling me to tell you that you need to go to the doctor and get your hips checked. And she said, why? I don't have any pain in my, I go, they're not telling me why, but they're being very persistent that they want you to go to the doctor, get your hips checked. She went to the doctor, she got her hips checked, she had cancer in her hips, they caught it before it became something.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I don't, yeah.
So when they come through you, can you do it on call, or is it something that's spontaneous? So if would you maybe be able to bring them in now and come have them say hi?
Sure, of course. Just let you know, I have another call at the top of the hour, so I'll have to make it
problem.
Pretty quick.
Super quick.
But
Yep, exactly.
Awesome.
That's perfect.
Okay, awesome. Let me bring them in. We are here. We don't get sued very often, dear.
I would assume not, because it'd be hard to pin you down to serve the summons, I would think.
We are here. We are happy to be here. We are the Council of Light. We are ascended masters that are here not just through one source like Christy, but through others that are receptive enough to receive the high energy and the wisdom and let us say this way, for us to lower our energy and for a source like Christy to raise her vibration, we meet in the middle and are able to then communicate to others like yourselves. There are many other channelers that are interested in taking people to other dimensions and things. That is not our cause or assignment. Ours is to help those of you that are in a physical body, having a life experience, to learn how to understand energy and then learn how to master your own energy so that you can live the greatest life that there is to live for you while you're in a physical body.
Well, thank you for your service. That's amazing. Do you get an immediate message for either Karen and I or someone who's maybe listening or watching that you want to impart?
Well, we'll say this. You two are very cute. We like you a lot. And we really, it's a really nice coupling. And you really are both very much in love and dedicated to each other. It's very, very clear. And so we just surround both of you in light as you continue your journey together, because there's a level of appreciation for each other and the relationship that you have that you definitely neither one of you would have had when you were younger. And so this internal, your own healing of what's going on with your back of your head and neck, just open up the back of your head and neck, dear, and just let that energy pour out of there. So anybody that, like Will, is having any tightness, tension, anything going on at the back of the head and neck, just imagine that this energy is being released out and we are helping to transmit that energy out. And as that is releasing, good, as that is releasing, bringing in the light energy of well-being, because you're going to need to, if you're starting to do this, you're going to need to start to really identify yourself as different, someone that has healed and living on the other end of the migraines and creating a different story. So that's what that in the time that we have, that's what we'll bring to you. But keep letting this release out and keep bringing the light in, and that's a really good start.
Wonderful.
We are surrounding you all in light. Each and every one of you that is listening, feel our beautiful light energy surrounding you, comforting you, holding you. And we will remind all of you too, because at some level you know this, but we will remind your personalities that you are infinitely loved. Be well.
Thank you.
Whew. Let yourselves just come back into the room. Let light pour around you.
Who is right? That was amazing. In fact, I need to
Karen
call.
looks freaked out.
I need to call it out immediately. As soon as they connected, Karen just was affected.
Yeah.
Like
Are you
completely-
okay, Karen?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Ooh, I could like feel the like I couldn't stop. Like I could just feel the pulsing.
Oh.
That was wild.
Which is why I took over the conversation, because
I was like, ooh, feeling it.
are you still feeling it now?
I was, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
Wow, that's incredible.
There was
Cool.
something so reminiscent of Angie Hipple. The
Oh,
voice.
the-
There's something I was like,
the Judah Collective, yeah.
there was like someone there that spans both or something. I don't know.
Oh, amazing.
That's awesome.
Christy, we've talked a lot about a lot of stuff. If someone wanted to learn more, pick up your book, The Flow Factor, or work with you one-on-one, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can go to watchyourwords.com. I have a 30-day free program of what words not to say, why, and what to say instead.
love
So
that.
it's a great, and it's interactive, really interactive. So
awesome.
it's watchyourwords.com. You can go to christywhitman.com. That's my main website. All of my offerings are off on that page. And then anywhere books are sold, you can go to theflowfactorbook.com or any place you buy your books for The Flow Factor.
Fabulous. Well, we're going to add those links directly to our show notes. So if you just happen to not have a pen at that particular point in time, you know the drill. Go to skepticmetaphysician.com, go to her episode page. The links will be laid out there directly, so it's easy for you to connect. Christy, this has been fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time, sharing your
So
wisdom
much
with us.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure meeting
Thank
you.
you.
We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, everybody. Okay.
Okay, well, that does it for this episode of the Skeptic Metaphysicians. If you're enjoying the ride, don't forget to visit us at skepticmetaphysician.com to dive even deeper into the world of metaphysics and spiritual awakenings. Follow us also on your favorite social media platforms. We're always sharing mind-expanding content and behind-the-scenes fun. Until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking, but most of all, keep your mind open.